Cloud-hosted accounting systems are on the ascendancy in the UK without a doubt. And in the small business marketplace, Xero and QuickBooks are competing with Sage 1 for domination at the moment. Now at Solutions, we want to take a best-of-breed approach, supporting clients in using whatever accounting and CRM systems are most appropriate for their business, but integrating those products to help improve efficiency and competitiveness and to reduce operational cost. So in this short video, I want to give you an overview of Xact CRM working with Xero. So Xact remains the world #1 CRM for small businesses, and Xero now claim to have upwards of 330,000 users in the UK, and this number is growing at between 40 and 50% a year. So by integrating the two, we can help eliminate duplication of entry and create a centralised view of customer information. Now, most of Xero's functionality can be exposed within Xact, empowering Xact users to be more effective in their customer interactions by presenting them with rich visibility of the counting and credit status of the client, together with a detailed history of invoices and quotes from Xero. We can also reduce manual process by enabling Xact users to generate Xero Customer and Supplier records. They can also create quotes and invoices without ever having to leave the Xact interface. So let's take a look. So here's a sample Xact contact record for John Steele of Gedling Crane Hire. Let's assume John is a customer at Gedling. You can see in the lower half of the screen in the tab area there's a Xero tab which reveals real-time accounting information from Xero. So in the overview panel we've got outstanding and overdue balances, and then you'll see on the left hand side there are tabs for sales and purchases. It enables me to build relationships between Xact records and suppliers in Xero as well as customers. If it were a supplier, I could proceed to create purchase orders and such like. But Gedling Crane Hire is our customer, so if I click on the sales button, you'll see I've got a history of invoices with that customer there. Just a single line item for each with the salient details, but I can double click on each one of these invoices to expose the full details of the invoice from Xero. If I close that, you'll see I can also create a new invoice or a new quote. Now Xero can integrate with both Xact Premium for Web and Xact On-Premise. There are some features that are restricted to the on-premise version though. The ability to create a quote in Xero is currently restricted to the on-premise version, but you can certainly create invoices in Xero from Xact Premium for Web as well as locally installed Xact On-Premise. So let's generate a new quote. Now I've got two choices here. I can create a brand new quote in Xero, or I can convert an existing Xact opportunity to a quotation, same with an invoice. So let's go from opportunities, and I'm presented with a list of the opportunities that are currently open for Gedling Crane Hire. So let's pick the opportunity that I want to work with, this top one here. So from this screen I can simply send the quotation to the customer. Now the quote can be emailed directly from Xero or via my default mail client. Back in the Sales tab, I can see the quote is listed, and double clicking on there will enable me to access that quote. Of course, over in the Xero account for Gedling Crane Hire, the quote is already there and available to view for all Xero users. Creating an invoice works in the same way. So I can either create a brand new invoice or from the opportunity, as we did before with the quotation. The same process applies. I can send the invoice, approving it simultaneously, or I can just submit it for approval in Xero. Now setup options allow me to easily customize how the integration works. That includes the way in which Xact and Xero records are linked. There's an auto-link feature which allows me to follow a wizard to set up duplication checking field, enabling existing Xact records to link with existing Xero records where they match. I can bulk import Xero contacts into Xact, and I can also export selected Xact contacts into Xero. So there's no arduous manual re-entering of customer data. When an Xact prospect finally becomes a new customer, I can just use the export function to push them through to Xero with all of their contact detail. I can set maps to determine which Act fields link with which Xero fields. Of course, if details of the contact change in Act, I can push those changes through to the corresponding Xero record. Finally, the integration options enable me to be very specific in terms of granting Act user rights on an individual user basis at a granular level. This is important because we may need to enable some users to access accounting histories and have visibility of account status and past invoices, but we might not want them to have the authority to create a Xero invoice. So by selecting each user and going through a wizard, we can tick or untick various options on an individual user basis in terms of whether they can access or approve sales invoices, purchase invoices, etc. What visibility they have and what control they have throughout the integration components. And of course, this is extending their reach into Xero as well, so it's important to get this right for each user within the organisation. I hope that's been useful. If you'd like to learn any more about Xero integrated with Act, please do get in touch via our website solutionscloud.uk or give us a call 0115 840 5075. You might also be interested to know that we offer a range of integrated CRM and accounting and ERP products. So if we can help bring about transformational change in your business by centralising customer data, please get in touch.